it's okay, we'll look at pictures as we go along. So, yeah, this awful case. This is a dentist and his wife, late 30s sort of age, two children. Seemingly, it seems that they were asleep in bed, wasn't it, in Columbus, in Ohio, in America. And whether they were asleep in bed or not is not clear, but it seems to be suggested. But what we do know is somebody walked into their house, literally no sign of forced entry. So they did not break into their house. So were they let in, or did they have the keypad code to get in? And shot this couple, shot both of them. They shot Spencer multiple times. Now, multiple, of course, we don't know, that could be anything from, well, 2 to sort of 10 or whatever, couldn't it? So we're not sure exactly how many times they shot Spencer, but it was more than once. They shot poor Monique once in the chest. That was enough to put her down. Maybe, so it's unclear why Spencer got the brunt of the violence, more shots. Was it because maybe he didn't go down the first time? Was he the primary target? Or was Monique the primary target and Spencer just, was, we don't know who was the primary target, or maybe they both were. We know nothing really. I suppose that's what I'm trying to say. But the only good news was that this attacker did spare the children. So they have two children. One's 4 years old, one's 1 year old. They were in the property with them. Not clear exactly what rooms everybody was in, but the children were left unharmed. And according to to Spencer's brother-in-law, Rob, the children are not really aware yet of what has happened because they're only 4 and 1. So there's just, at least something. But of course, they're going to find out sooner or later, and they're going to grow up without parents. But yeah, the video was released of the suspect, that person walking the streets in the early hours of the morning, that the police seem to think is the person who did this terrible crime. But yeah, apart from releasing that footage, the police have been pretty quiet, really, haven't they? They haven't really released any details. Well, we've had all the 911 calls. So this was funny, wasn't it? There was 4 911 calls. It seems that the dentist surgery where Spencer worked, it seems like, first of all, the owner from that dentist surgery phoned the 911 from Florida, where he was on holiday, I presume, in Florida, unless he lives in Florida. Then several people from the dentist surgery went to the home, and you think, what, did they all just leave that dental surgery and leave all the customers there and all the patients there waiting to have done whatever why did they all go to Spencer's house? I do find that odd, to be honest, that everybody, or were they already aware that maybe there was some trouble? We don't know, maybe Spencer or Monique or both of them had expressed that they felt like they might be in danger. That, we just don't know, because I just think when you work with somebody, anybody you work with, if they didn't turn up, like, you would be worried. If they say they were supposed to be there at, I think it was 8 o'clock, Spencer was supposed to be there. If they weren't there, he was generally on time, reliable. So yeah, and all those patients waiting for him. Yeah, you would think, but say it was 8 o'clock, 10 past 8, you'd think, oh, that's funny, he's not here, he's normally on time. And then it came to 8:30, you think, very strange. And then if you tried to get hold of him and you couldn't get hold of his wife. And of course, if you knew that there were children at the home and you're thinking, well, where are they? But I don't know if you would think of rushing over to the house. You may even ring the police for this welfare check like the boss did. But would you? Why did they all dash over to the house? seems odd to me. Maybe it's because of the knowing there were children in there. And when the police first went there, they did not hear the children inside. And then so people phoned again then and said, oh, there are children in there. And then somebody phoned and said that they could see a body in there. But how could they see the body if Spencer's body was supposedly next to his bed? You presume that the bedrooms are upstairs. And this was like a townhouse. So there's a lot of things that are not clear about, the whole situation. And the other day we looked at their wedding video, which I find particularly chilling because I feel that the person who committed this crime may even be on that video. It may be someone from their inner circle, somebody who knows them. I do feel it's a targeted crime. I do feel it's somebody who knows them. But you know what? I don't know what else the police know. Maybe the police know differently from that. The other thing that I thought was a possibility. Now, it's hard to put your head in this murderer's in their head, because obviously if you're not that, you can't imagine. Nobody could imagine, or not many people could imagine, actually going around someone's house in the early hours of the morning and murdering them. Knowing that their children were in the house. But supposing this murderer knew that there were children in the house, because maybe they're an associate of Spencer and Monique. And then when the police first went round there, of course, they didn't hear the children. The police went and came away again. So maybe the person who did it does have a bit of a conscience, at least over the children. And, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is that why is one of those people, and this is pure speculation, one of those people that phoned again or went round there again, was it because they were they the perpetrator? And were they concerned about the children? Is that why there was so much? Because I think somebody who did not know Spencer and Monique would not care about the children, would they really? They wouldn't feel, that they wanted the children to be sorted, unless they just it was a random attack and then they got in there, realised they had 2 kids and felt terrible about it. It just doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense, does it? But it does make sense to think that maybe somebody who knew them and knew there were children there would just determine that the children should get sorted. Because otherwise, I just don't understand this. Practically the whole dental practice went to the property. I think that's unusual. I don't think you would do that. I think you would maybe ring the police after a while. But remember, the police were rang only about an hour after Spencer was supposed to be at work. So they didn't wait that long before they phoned the police. But yeah, you can see that from the police, oh, this is unusual. This guy is very reliable. We can't get hold of him. We can't get hold of his wife. Can you go and do a welfare check? But I don't know that you would all dash to the property. So anyway, that's just my opinion. Unless, of course, Spencer and or Monique had expressed any danger that they felt they might have been in. They might have been receiving some threats or having problems with someone who was stalking them or threatening them. Then you might, if your friend, colleague said to you, oh God, I'm really worried about such and such because they're really angry with me and they said they're going to do this and they said they're going to do that. And then the next day that person did not turn up at work. Then you might take it more seriously because you would think, oh my God, has this person done something? But so we don't know if Spencer had already said to the people at his clinic where he worked that he was having problems with somebody. That's a possibility, isn't it? Maybe that's why they seemed to panic so much when he didn't turn up. Just seemed a bit out, a bit of sort of over worrying, if you like. I mean, they were right in the end to worry because, of course, the worst thing had happened to them. But just not sure in a normal situation, in normal life, most people would not expect something like that to happen, would they? So, very strange, I think, that there was this big panic to get down there. Hi, Moonbeam. So, hi, Julie. No, it's that I haven't. No, I'm on still on this laptop because my computer broke, didn't it, last week? My computer died a death, so I'm on a laptop. So that'd be why my sounds different. Hope you're well. Be glad that all the festivities are over with now. Hi, Lily Paulia. I can't remember if I said. Yeah, so I forgot. I'm at that point now where I've forgotten who I said hello to and who I didn't. So if I didn't say hello to you, please come back in and say hello again, because you know where it's like I do sort of start waffling and then not waffling but talking about the whatever it is I'm talking about, and then I can't always look at the chat, but I try every now and again to go back to the chat. So this is the first person I want to talk about. I want to talk about Spencer. As I say, no more developments as far as I know up to this point. But I just wanted to share this, which I thought was lovely about Spencer. There you go. I think you can see that. Let me just check because I'm on this laptop. Everything's more complicated than normal. Oh, it's not showing. Why is it not showing? Oh, why is that not? Let me just see if it's showing. Oh, I've had a technological nightmare, and this new year has been awful for technological things. Everything's gone wrong that you could imagine could go wrong. But never mind, it's only technology. But it doesn't help when you're trying to do a live. It's not showing this video. Why is it not showing? I don't know. The thing is, the laptop that I'm on, it's so much slower than the computer was. Huh? Let's see. Yeah, so much slower because the thing that I had plugged into the computer to make the internet quicker, it won't fit into the laptop. So it's much slower and it just doesn't seem to work the same. But anyway, there you go. There's not really anything I can do about it at the moment. Oh, there you go. It's come through now. It's come up now. It's come up. Just slow. Okay, as long as I know it's coming up. So, Spencer Tepe remembered as a devoted mentor as the investigation into the couple's death continues. So, everyone keeps saying what a lovely couple this was, and although we did have that, there was a 911 call went out from the residence a few months before. A female, very upset, seemed to have been in an argument. Now, the brother-in-law said that was not Monique, though it sounded like Monique, to be honest. But anyway, I don't know if it was Monique or not. Law enforcement have not commented on it, but it made you wonder, is it? I just think these relationships that always appear perfect on the surface. I mean, no relationship is perfect, is it? At the end of the day, that's just the way it is. Anyway, so as investigators continue searching for answers in the deaths of Spencer and Monique Tepe, those who knew the couple say they want the focus to remain on their impactful legacy. So we've talked about the what happened. I want to talk about, um, as I say, they're like, what people are saying about them. They do seem to have been such a lovely couple. So one of the organisations that has come out to talk about them is Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Ohio, where Spencer Tepe served as a Big Brother mentor for years. And through Big Brothers and Big Sisters, Spencer was matched with Hans Hernandez when he was in first grade, and what began as a mentorship grew into a lifelong bond. Spencer was always encouraging him to do more and go out of his comfort zone, said Hans's mother, Norma. Hans really looked at him as a role model. Hans went out to graduate from Purdue University and now works as an engineer in Wisconsin, an achievement his family credits in part to Spencer's steady, consistent presence in his life. And Monique also became part of that extended family. Hernandez recalled Spencer proudly introducing Monique to them and attending Hans's high school graduation together. So Jessica Rodriguez, a match support specialist with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Ohio, worked closely with Spencer and Hans from the beginning. I get asked all the time for success stories, and this is one of the best, Rodriguez said. They stayed connected from first grade through high school and college. They never lost that relationship. And Rodriguez said that Spencer continued mentoring even as his life grew busier, starting a career, marrying Monique, and becoming a parent himself. After they bought their house, we were invited over, Hernandez said. That's when we were told at their house they were getting married, they were engaged. Spencer and Monique even hosted my whole family, who came from California and North Carolina at the wedding. So, I just wanted to talk about this because it just seemed to me, um, this is another example of what a lovely couple they appear to have been. And Spencer doing this mentoring for Big Brother, etc., Big Brothers and Sisters, and making such a positive, somebody feeling that he made such a positive impact on them, that they wanted to talk about it. You know, it just makes you wonder even more, what is the motive? Anyway, Rodriguez said that a lot of mentors find reasons to step back, but Spencer didn't. Hans was just part of his family. When we make matches and when we interview mentors, we always hope that the match relationship stays together throughout high school. And Spencer not only did that, but he continued. That's the best case scenario out of a match that we could make. He always went above and beyond. So yeah, everybody seems to be saying, what a lovely couple they are. Now, going to what the police say, on Wednesday, which is yesterday, last night, I suppose, as far as Spain's concerned, there are no new updates to share at this time, Columbus Police said. We're looking for any information that would assist us in identifying the person of interest. We are also looking for any or all video from the area between 2 and 5 a.m. So that's the time that they've sort of doubled down on, isn't it? Between 2 and 5. Let's see, is this a video we can watch? Let's have a look. Right. So that was Spencer with his protege. Um, Hopefully the video will play. Come on. So yeah, seems like they were, everybody.
This Central Ohio community is still processing what happened to Spencer and Monique Tepe. The Columbus parents were found shot to death in their home the morning of December 30th.
As investigators search for answers tonight, we are learning more about the couple's lives, devoted parents, a loving partnership, and positive influences in their community. Aaron Simonek spoke with big brothers and big sisters of Central Ohio about Spencer's legacy.
Beyond the tragic headlines, Spencer and Monique Tepe were a devoted couple, committed parents, and positive forces in Central Ohio. Spencer will many, and to one young man in particular, through his work with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Ohio.
People have siblings and family at home that supports them, but sometimes they need someone else, someone experienced, and they're there for you when you need them.
The mentorship program connects children facing adversity with mentors to ignite their potential. This testimonial video on Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Ohio's YouTube page shows the special bond between Spencer and his mentee Hans from 2021.
My favorite thing about being a big has been how I've become part of his family and he's become part of mine.
Hans, a recent Purdue University graduate, now working as an engineer. His mom, Norma, says it was an instant match.
It's like encouraging him that in a way, in a positive way, that he knew he could do it.
A mentor turned lifelong friend.
Monique eventually came into Spencer's life, graduation party, and Spencer was excited to introduce her to your family.
Yes.
It really was like you guys were part of the family.
We were part of the family.
Jessica Rodriguez was Spencer and Hans' match support specialist, working hand in hand with them since Hans was in.
I think that this is a match that is one of the best stories out there because they went from 5 years old, first grade, all the way through high school and college.
When you're going through like hard times or when you're struggling with something, they're also there, so they can be a friend and supporter and a mentor all at the same time.
I'm really proud of him, and I'm excited to see what his future holds for him.
It's really a testament to the person he.
I mean, why is it that it's always these nice people that get taken from the world? The world needs people like Spencer, and presumably Monique was a similar type of person. The world needs these nice people, and they always seem to be the ones that get taken away, don't they? So, the thing is, this is even in their short lives, because of course, they weren't even 40, I don't think. At least they have left a legacy to be proud of, and especially Spencer in these Big Brother programs and things, and how he's affected the positive influences had on that particular young man.
Was because a lot of mentors could find an excuse to close the match, getting married, getting a job, having a child, but Spencer was different.
Spencer and Monique's deaths continue to make national headlines, but for the Hernandez family, the impact is profound.
Knowing them, seeing them at their house, how friendly they are, how it's hard to believe that there will be a person that will not like them.
The Tepe Circle tells us they don't want them to be defined by their deaths. Instead, remembering the kind-hearted people they were, with personalities that are rare to find in this world.
Yeah.
Warm, giving, strong, and loving.
Very
What is
rare.
your message to the person who would have such a violent reaction to this couple?
Did you have a family? It's like, why? Really?
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense at all.
The Tepe family tells me private funeral arrangements have been set, as a suspect has yet to be determined. On your side in Columbus, Aaron Simonek, Fox 28 News.
Tonight, Columbus police remain tight-lipped about this investigation. They have declined multiple requests for on-camera interviews in recent days, explaining if they were to say exactly where they are in this case, it might tip off anyone involved.
Yeah.
Police did release this video Monday
Here's
night
the
showing a
video
person
again.
of interest they are trying to identify. They say they are following up on tips about this video, but if you know anything, Columbus police do want.
Yeah, I think this is definitely the killer. Definitely the killer. And, you know, they're walking towards the house. So they must have parked up the road, or maybe they live in the neighborhood. I don't know. But, you know, there they are. You can't see really anything of them. So it could be anyone, but they appear reasonably tall. There's, you know, people that have analysed it are saying they're at least, you know, just under 6 foot, probably. Sort of medium build. You know, we've talked about, I think they've got, you know, to me they're quite a distinctive walk, a distinctive shape, broad shoulders, long legs. You know, but who is it? And there will be, this is the only video that the police have released, but they'll have more than this, I'm sure. The police might be pretty certain even now who did it, but they just wait, you know, they're putting their ducks in a row, and when they arrest this person finally, which I'm sure they will, I am 100% certain this case is going to be solved. I don't think for a minute that it's not going to be solved. It's a question of when rather than if. And the sooner the better, obviously. And I do think it's significant that the police aren't really, you know, coming out with a, oh, you know, keep all your doors locked. You know, if it was a robbery, some random person and going into their house, you know, why would a robber go into a house where there's 4 people in there, 2 adults, 2 children, and a dog? In the middle of the night. I mean, they just wouldn't do it. They've not even got back there with them to take anything away. All they've got there is the gun. They've gone there. Somebody, for some reason, hated this couple, or was so angry with them, or just with Spencer maybe, or just with Monique. There's a real anger, personal motive, but that personal motive does not extend to the children. I think they were very keen, you know, to make sure the children are okay. That's how it strikes me anyway.
To hear from you.
So, yeah, that's just what I wanted. I'll say no developments yet, further developments in this case. But I wanted to talk about Spencer and about that, you know, the big brother thing, and, you know, just sort of, we'll keep talking about this case until there is a break in the case, of course. So don't forget, press notifications, remember to subscribe. Any development in this case, I will be back to talk about it.